Welcome, friends and neighbors. We're back in Glendale, California, pulling into Forest Lawn and Memorial Park. I've made several visits here. Why? Because there's 1,118 famous graves interred here. We'll find the graves of William and Phil Wrigley of Wrigley's Chewing Gum, the voices of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. We'll find the mayor of Mayberry, Dick Elliott. He was the first mayor of Mayberry. We'll find the grave of Grandmama of the Addams Family. Fred of Cemetery Adventures will find his beloved Aunt Vera. Let's get inside and take a walk. And away we go. This is a good weather day. Insurance tip, I'll go ahead and give it to you for this video. Shop your car insurance every 5 years. Don't jump around every 6 months or every year, because if you stay put with one carrier and then shop your car insurance, you'll get a much bigger discount because you'll show stability. In my agency, I keep 96% of my policyholders long term. We're walking up on an actress by the name of Kathy O'Donnell, beloved wife of Robert Weiler. She lives from 1923, dies 1970. She's in the movie The Best Years of Our Lives. She plays a part of Wilma, who is Homer's girlfriend. At first, he didn't think Wilma would accept him because he lost both of his hands in a bombing accident during the war. And actually, this really did happen in real life. But the movie has a happy ending because at the end, they get married. And right next to her is her husband, Robert Weiler. And next to him, his brother and her brother-in-law, William Weiler, who is also the director of The Best Years of Our Lives. It wins 7 Academy Awards. Great movie. Check it out. We're now in the Great Mausoleum. This is the Wrigley family. They have this section towards the back all to themselves. Just beautiful flooring, marble floor. Marble walls, just beautiful. First is Phil Wrigley. He lives from 1894, dies 1977. William Wrigley, 1933, dies 1999. William Wrigley Jr. For almost a century, Wrigley Brothers marketed three brands of gum, 3 flavors. Can you name them? Spearmint, Double Mint, and Juicy Fruit. This is a beautiful memorial park. The company was founded in 1901 in Chicago by William Wrigley Jr. They employ 16,000 people and have gross revenue of $5.5 billion with net profits of $1 billion per year. We're now at the Freedom Mausoleum. This is the second mausoleum located here in Glendale, California. We're at Forest Lawn Memorial Park. There's 1,118 famous graves here. Next one is Lily Bonnie. She's known as Billy or the Golden Dove. She was a silent film actress whose face was all over the silver screens. This is before Hollywood learned to talk. She was once proposed to by Howard Hughes, but she declined his proposal. You just gotta smell these fresh flowers. She drops out of showbiz because she wants to step away from the limelight and get married and raise a family. Our walk continues. Milton Marx. He lives from 1893, dies 1977. Beloved husband and father, also known as Gummo Marx. He's the fifth of the Marx Brothers. He chose a different type of life after performing with his famous brothers. He joined the army and also later became a theatrical agent. A fun fact, some people say he got the nickname Gummo because he hated the mud on his shoes during the vaudeville tours. And then across the corridor is another Marx Brothers. Up towards the top, see if I can zoom up. Here we go. This is Chico Marx. He lives from 1887, dies 1961. He was known as the eldest Marx brother. He grew up in New York. He started playing piano Nickelodeons before his brothers joined him on the stage. He starred in films such as Duck Soup and A Night at the Opera. He unfortunately gambled most of his film earnings due to a gambling addiction. Despite this, he was still always smiling, giving him the nickname the Gambler's Smile. As I recall from previous visits, on the right, here at the bottom, should be Larry Fine. Of the Three Stooges, yes, here we go. He lived from 1902, dies 1975 of a stroke. Now we're looking for Mary Wells, known for being part of the Motown sound. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Mary Wells lives from 1943, dies 1992. Our loving mother, she was discovered by Berry Gordy, and he signs her on the spot.
She left you last night, and today you call me. You came up to me and asked me my name. You beat me to the punch.
Mary was also one of the first recording stars for Motown. I think I can listen to her daily. Across the way is our next famous grave stop. This is the final resting place of Billy Barty, in loving memory, who always thought big, lives from 1924, dies the year 2000. He's known as the smallest man with the biggest dreams. Came from a small mining town in Pennsylvania. He was born with a form of dwarfism. It got him popular roles like Willow, Legend, and Under the Rainbow. He starred in many TV shows as well. He also founded the LPA, a non-profit organization for others with the same condition.
Acting till about 1943, and we were in vaudeville at the time. We traveled all over the United States in vaudeville, and I was before live audiences, and we stopped, my family stopped, and I went on to finish high school, went on to college, had no thoughts about getting back into the acting business again. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. And my last year of high school, I majored in journalism. I thought it was a very interesting and fascinating world, and I went on to LA City College and became sports editor of the newspaper there, and the public relations, athletic public relations director. I was so involved in sports. And then after college, I started...
Wait, Billy, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, because I don't think that people realize that you, as a little person, were playing basketball?
Yeah.
Football?
Yes. And I played some semi-pro baseball. In fact, I wanted to be a sports writer and a sports announcer, and I even wanted to be a coach. And it's another story about the way I asked the coach for me to participate, but I did, and he was wonderful about it. But then it was kind of a, they said, well, Billy, it's going to be a rough road for you. They will not accept you as a coach. And so I still wanted to be a sports writer, and I got a call from the Hollywood Citizen News at that time. But I finished my LA City College and went on to LA State. And then I started doing amateur shows. And all of a sudden the show business started to get back into my blood. And I always ended up second or third in amateur shows. And then I got a call from NBC to do a children's show.
Now back out to the ground interments, we'll look for Grandmama of the Addams Family. This would be a good time to throw me a thumbs up. Also subscribe, hit the bell icon. It would mean a lot to me if you'll do that. It'd really help the channel.
There's only one thing to do. Get rid of them.
I can't. I signed the lease this morning.
I'll get rid of them.
I'll go with you, Fester.
Good, Mama.
I haven't used this beauty since the tax man was here.
It took a while, but I found her. Blossom Rock, Together Forever, dies January 14th, 1978. Known also as Edith and the Sister with the Spark. She performed with vaudevilles in her early years. She also performed with her famous film sister, Jeanette MacDonald, who we featured on this channel in another video. By the 1930s and 40s, she became an actress playing in films like Love Finds Andy Hardy. She also became a household favorite by playing Grandma Addams on the Addams Family, as I've mentioned earlier. We are now at the famous grave of Richard Damon Elliott, beloved husband and father. Lives from 1886, dies 1961. He was an American actor who played in over 240 films since the 1930s. You will most likely know him as the mayor of Mayberry in the Andy Griffith Show. In fact, he was the first mayor in that show. He also made some appearances later on the Adventures of Superman until he passed away here in Glendale, California. Here we have Walt Disney. If you're looking for him, he's directly in front of the Freedom Mausoleum. But today we're looking for two individuals in the ground interments who worked for Walt Disney, for Disney Studios. First is Wayne Anthony Allwine. He lives from February 7th, 1947, dies May 18th, 2009. Not where I breathe, but where I live. Now, bottom left, it says MM3, and I'm not sure what this means. Mickey Mouse. Was he the third voice of Mickey Mouse? He's right next to Russie Taylor. She lives May the 4th, 1944. She died July 26, 2019. I loved my life. Bottom right is MMF. Minnie Mouse? I'm not sure. But they were the voice of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. They were also a married couple.
And we are so excited to have Wayne and Russie Taylor here. You've been working all these years with two legendary characters. Now you're going to be legends. How does that feel?
It's exciting to know. I've been lucky enough in my lifetime to know a lot of the folks who became legends. It's just such a treat and such an honor to be part of that group and all my dear friends and all the talent. And I speak for Jim McDonald and my first voice, Walt.
Well, I know that all of the readers of LaughingPlace.com offer you great congratulations. Do you have anything you'd like to say to them?
Hello, everybody. letting us laughing chase that car.
Yeah,
Remember,
you guys.
love you.
And you're swell, too.
Thank you, thank you.
So long.
Goodbye.
Our next stop is going to be an interesting one, nonetheless. Still a famous grave. Robert Beck lives from 1918, dies 1992. Truth still shining down. He's known as Iceberg Slim, who is a man who transformed a life of hustling into some very influential American literature. A fun fact, he got his name Iceberg Slim for supposedly never breaking a sweat under pressure. He was a pimp for about 2 decades from Chicago to Los Angeles. He published his first book titled Pimp, The Story of My Life. This is in 1976. He said he wanted to be remembered for telling it like it was, not what people wanted to hear. He gets visitors. These are fresh, real flowers. Looks like they were placed here today, matter of fact. Down on the left, we'll find Forrest Ackerman. He was known as a man who loved monsters, was a science fiction author. In 1939, he attended the first ever science fiction convention wearing a spacesuit. Lives from 1916 until 2008. In the 50s, he became an icon and created famous monsters of filmland, which I remember reading. He also had the infamous Ackerman Mansion, where inside the walls he had over 300,000 props, costumes, and books spanning the entire history of science fiction. This has been a fun day. I have found every famous grave I was looking for. Many times in videos, I missed 2 or 3 because I simply can't find them. Our next stop is, this is the beloved aunt of Fred, Cemetery Adventures. He told me where she's in, where her crypt is. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one up, Veronica Stottlemyre. She lives from 1911, dies 2004. Ever in our thoughts. Fred says she was the absolute sweetest lady he knew. She helped women in business, also spoke at several conferences, including churches. She moves with her husband from Anderson, Indiana to Montrose, California, where she became a secretary for the president of Standard Oil of California. Had a long, fulfilled life. Fred, Cemetery Adventures, is a friend of mine. We're both from Indiana. Go over and check out his channel. I know you'll like it, and please subscribe. He would really appreciate the support. We plan on doing projects in the future. This wraps up another here at Glendale, California, Forest Lawn Memorial Park. Everybody should be remembered, and happy trails, everyone.